Good morning, everyone. How are you guys feeling? Can you guys see 2 feet ahead of you? Because apparently I can't anymore. Okay, so basically I woke up, right? And yesterday's vision was quite alright. Like, I can still see stuff. But I woke up today and my vision is so bad to the point where, how would I describe this? Okay, so if your camera is focusing on one person and then everything in the image, on the back of the image, right, it's like blurry and stuff because you can't really see it. Literally what my vision is like right now. Wow, it's like my vision. I'm going to make some stickers. They're not really stickers. They're just like random stuff I'm going to print out that I want to put in my journal because I ran out of things I want to put in my journal. So I'm just going to print some of them out. So yeah. I didn't print much out. I think I only printed out like 6 pages, but whatever. That's fine. We should probably check on the food. The rice is finished. I think it took a little too long trying to print out random stuff. So we're just gonna make something really simple and we're gonna make steam eggs. So we're just gonna crack the egg. Oh, that's not how you're supposed to crack an egg, but okay. Then we're gonna add some salt. I don't know when I decided to turn into a cooking channel, but you know what? Whatever. Then we also add water to the eggs for some reason. I don't know. That's how my parents made it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to follow their instructions. And then we're going to whisk it together. Wisp it together. You can still see some of the water. So we're just going to make... Is that... Hold up. Is that a shell? Let me get that off first. Anyways, we're going to mix this together. Hopefully there's no more shells. You obviously saw me cook this dish before. Or maybe not. Who knows? And what I learned from my mother is if you don't have like some type of covering on top of it, it's not gonna be very smooth on the top. It's gonna all look like mountains afterwards. So we're gonna cover it so then we can have like a smooth, like a straight, smooth top egg thingy. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like after. Let me cover this up first. You wanna make sure there's no air holes. It's so clear you can't even see the... What's that thing called again? That thing on top. Yeah, that plastic thing. I might have added a little too much water to the eggs. You can see kind of the wetness. Oh, yeah, it's done. Still a little jiggly, but it's fine. I want to spend less time on my laptop and phone, so we're going to do as much activities as possible to get me off my laptop and my phone, because if it's not my phone, it's always my laptop. So I decided I'm going to read one story from the Brothers Grimm series books, all the fairy tales they have. I remember buying this book. I was like at Costco, and I was looking around because I wanted to buy a book there, right? And then this caught my eye because I was like, oh, the complete stories, like the complete fairy tales. And when I saw a fairy tale, I'm just like, huh. I read these like 2 brothers, I'm pretty sure it's 2 brothers, that they were like rewriting, or they wrote like different versions of like the Disney fairy tale and they made it disturbing. I was like, I really enjoyed those. And then I found out, because that first came to my mind, right? And then I'm just like, wait, these are the brothers that wrote that. So I was like, damn, it's really cool. I love this book because it like has an owl in it. Oh, it has this owl in the front page. And also tells you like the introduction to the brothers and stuff. But let me get to that page first. Hold up, this is the table of contents. More table of contents. There's a lot of table of contents. Yeah, it shows like the intro to like the brothers and like random stuff. I thought it was really cool. Before like you get into the stories, it tells you a bit about their lives. I started reading a story each day. So today's story, what's today's story? Today's story is the 4th story, and it's called The Story of the Youth Who Went Forth to Learn What Fear Was. Okay? That sounds interesting. I'm going to predict what's going to happen is they're going to go travel the world. They're going to travel to different areas, and they're not going to fear anything, right? And then suddenly something really sudden happens, and one of them loses their lives and then they become scared. That's my prediction. Am I right or wrong? Who knows? Okay, you guys can probably read along with me if you guys like search up that title and then Brothers Grimm, because there's no way those Brothers Grimm stories aren't online, right? They're quite old, so they probably should be online. I finished the story and I wrote the summary of the story in my journals. I'm also gonna write a review on it later on. But okay, so I'm gonna summarize what basically happened in the story because I got it so wrong. So basically, this father had two sons. There was the older one and there was like the younger one. The older one was like really smart and he could basically learn anything, right? He was like really intelligent, while the younger one wasn't really the smartest and not the brightest, and he couldn't really understand anything. So when he were to sit down at like a campfire, everyone was telling like really scary stories, and they were being like, "Oh, I'm shuddering," meaning like I'm scared, and he was like, well, "I want to shudder too," because I keep saying it over and over again. He was generally really curious. So then when his father was complaining to him about, "Oh, like what do you want to learn about, like what do you want to learn, because you can't do anything and how are you going to make a living?" So that's literally what the father said, and he was like, "Father, I want to learn how to shudder," because the father was like, "Oh, you're not willing to learn anything." So he was like, "No, I want to learn how to shudder." And then his father was like, "Bro," he didn't say bro, but he was like kind of upset because like, why do you want to learn how to shudder? That's not going to make you any money. So I think that was what the father was thinking. So then the how do you say that word? It's Sexton. I'm not sure how to say that word, but basically that person came along and he was like visiting their house, and it was like, oh, the father was telling him about all the like the younger son's situation and how he wants to learn how to shudder and stuff. And that guy was like, "Okay, I'll help out like your son and polish him up basically." And so he did that, basically brought the younger brother back to his house to like, basically, what did he do? So basically that guy woke him up at midnight and told him to ring the church's tower bell. So he did that, right? He was about to do that. He was walking up the stairs, and how do you say that guy's name? Sexton. That guy, he basically followed the younger brother up those stairs, and he decided to spook him out a little, make him like nervous and stuff. So he basically didn't make any sound, and the younger brother was like, he's warning him, "Oh, if you don't say anything, I'm gonna push you down the stairs, or I'm gonna like throw you or something, like something violent." And that guy was like, he didn't believe that younger brother was gonna do that. He was just like, "Oh, he's just all talk, you know." So when he actually did that, he's like stayed motionless, and the younger brother actually pushed that guy down the stairs, and he still continued staying silent, and he walked back home and fell asleep. And that guy's wife came to like that younger brother, was asking like, "Oh, what happened to him? You know, what happened to my husband? Like, where is he?" And because he went after you rang that doorbell, he followed you up the stairs. And then he was like, "Oh, he followed me up the stairs. I didn't know that." I tried to like talking to him, and he's basically like, "Oh, this weird guy followed me as well. Maybe that's your husband that I pushed down the stairs." I did warn him though. So he told the wife that, and he's like, "Oh, you can go check it out if you want to see if it's actually your husband." So she ran up to like the church's area, and then she saw her husband with like a broken leg and stuff. This is not me summarizing. This is literally me telling you the whole entire story. But yeah, so then what happened? Then the wife was basically complaining to the younger brother's father about the whole entire situation, and the father was so done with the situation. He was like, "Here, like don't mention our name, don't mention like my name, don't mention where you live. Just take these 50 tails money and just go off somewhere. Don't mention us like ever again." And then obviously he like encountered a few people. He encountered this one person that was telling him, "Oh, if you want to shudder, you can go to the rope maker's daughter and check out her 7 husbands." And those 7 husbands were like hanging from this like, I think it was from this pole or something, and they're like completely dead. Their head is like, you know how they hung like her 7 husbands, right? So he thought they were alive or something, because he made a fire near them and they weren't doing anything, which made him really angry, because they're literally dead. So he was just like trying to talk to them, be like, "Oh, can you like fan the flames or something?" Which he didn't do. And the 7 dead men that were hanging, their clothes got burnt and stuff. So he was like, "Oh, they're so dumb." That's basically what the younger brother thought. And then what else? That didn't really shudder him, because I think he's kind of dumb, so he didn't realize, oh, these people are dead. And then what else happened? Then he continued walking, and he found like a wagoner, and the wagoner told him how, if you want to shudder, you can go try to like experience this thing of like the king being really the protective of his daughter, and you can like go and try to survive there for 3 days, and after the 3 days you can like, I don't think they mentioned the part of like him getting with the princess and stuff, but he was like, "You know what, I'm gonna try that out," because people say, "Oh, it's gonna make him shudder." So he went there and tried it out, and like the king gave him like 3 choices, but of what he can bring into that area, and he chose like fire and stuff. It's not important. I was like, okay, I don't care about that. So, and then obviously he survives. He didn't shudder even after he got married to the princess, became the young king. He didn't shudder at all. He was like, okay. And then the queen got so annoyed that she basically, oh yeah, so the queen basically grabbed cold water and then dumped it all over his body, and then the fish was also in it because she got it from the stream somewhere, and then that made the young man or the younger brother start shuddering and stuff, and he was like, oh, I know how to shudder now. And that's basically the end of the story. I was like, okay, it's definitely a story. Anyways, I don't know how to review that. Is that a good story? I think it was very interesting. It was not that captivating. I feel like I read it because it was a Brother Grimm story, rather it being a good story. But that's just my opinion. What do you think the moral of the story is for this story? I think the moral of the story, in my opinion, is probably going to be don't give up, because you don't know when you're going to accomplish something. Is that it? I'm not really sure what the moral of the story is. Maybe I have to search it up, but it was just like, I was trying to think of that while I was reading. Okay, I guess we can cut these out and paste them into my journal because I don't know what else to do. What other hobbies can I do at home? I don't know, guys. I feel like I wish I was creative so I can like make things out of thin air, but I'm not that creative. I wish I was that creative though. Okay, let's cut this out. I ran out of hobbies to do and I don't want to crochet or knit. So I decided that I'm going to write down. See, so watch the sunset, listen to a concert, and there's like all of this. Well, it's raining today, so I could do this as well, but I don't know what to watch though. And then I don't want to take pictures. I mean, I kind of did that, but I also use my phone to like look up random stuff. I'm too lazy to dress something. I did translated it wrong and I accidentally wrote it wrong, but handcraft something. But what do I craft? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll get some inspiration off TikTok. Watch a play, record your day. Okay, yeah, I'm doing that right now. What else? I'm not gonna get abs. I'm so sorry, but I hate exercise. I would love to go and watch a movie alone, but the problem is I don't think there's any movies I want to watch. I feel like all the movies now are kind of lame. Is it a flower shop? No thanks. I'm not into boxing. I'm not hungry. Oh, we should buy a 500-piece puzzle tomorrow. Maybe I'll go to like the dollar store to see if they have that. I remember last time going there, I think it was quite a while ago, and I saw they sold puzzles, but maybe it changed, who knows. And go to an art exhibit, that sounds fun, maybe. But none of them relate to being at home. Attend a coffee training course. I'm not, okay, maybe. Try makeup look never done before. Transform the room into a stage you want. What? Oh, into a style you want. The next page is read a novel you've never read before. Okay, we kind of did that though. And then participate in an outdoor hiking trip. Oh, hiking. Not my favorite. Fill the refrigerator with your favorite food. I think the refrigerator is filled right now. I don't think I put anything in. Mix yourself a drink. Like what? Print out the photos that are particularly meaningful and make them into an album. I don't have any of those. Write a letter to your future self and keep it in a time capsule. I did that before. Write a letter to a good friend. Okay, maybe. Challenge yourself to participate in a marathon. Oh, why is there so much like exercising? I did that. Sugar-free diet. Oh, I kind of did that for a week because my skin kind of got better, and then my mother decided to bring like chocolate home for some reason, and then I started eating chocolate. So anyways, learn a set of healthy exercise or tai chi. Okay, I don't ever drink like carbonated drinks though. Yeah, because I'm not a big fan of pop, so cross that out. When I wrote this down after the translation, I have no idea what this means. It just translates to professional qualification examination. I don't know what that means. I just wrote it down. I was like, okay. You guys should try being vegetarian for a week. Oh my god, a week. It's just photos and then a public performance. Whoa. People are gonna stare like me, I'm crazy. Actually, I don't think anyone would stare like me, I'm crazy. I feel like these people mind their business. This city I'm in, everyone minds their business. I feel like everyone's an introvert, so I don't think they would care less about whatever I'm doing. Ooh, I should start a blog. That'll be fun. What else? I think all of these are quite, boring. I mean, we can go to the zoo one day. I don't know. Is there anything fun to do at the zoo, though, except seeing animals? My mother decided to give me random bread to eat, I guess. That's basically it. This seems so boring, though. There's nothing really to do. I love how I wrote out 100 activities I can do, and I refuse to do any. But none of them are really for home. I feel like home activities are just like making stuff. But what can I make? There seems to be a lot of paper on my desk, so we're just gonna use up all the things that I printed out and put it in my journal because the mess is already messy enough. I don't need more things on top of the mess. So I'm not gonna show you how messy it is. You guys don't need to see that because I'm supposed to be neat, okay, guys? Look how neat my area is. This tiny area I'm recording on. And like, anyways, so we're just gonna cut it out and just paste it, all 3 of these on. There's this one, there's this one. This is easy to cut and glue. And there's this one, and then we'll be done. Should be like 2, 4, 8, 12. It should be 12 pages.